Hi everyone, welcome to our first daily recap. World Bridge Championship. I'm here with Rob Brady, who has been commenting all week. How are you?
I'm doing great.
So you've been following all of that. Now it's the end of the first phase. The round robin is over, and in each of the four categories, the top 8 team qualify for the quarterfinal. In the main event, if I can call it like that, the Bermuda Bowl. We've got quite a few surprises. Can you walk us through them?
Yeah, so I mean, the two big ones in the room, Belgium does squeak in eighth place. They perform strong all tournament and they do manage to qualify to the top eight. Norway, though, one of the teams, a favorite coming in, silver medalists in the previous Bermuda Bowl 2023, they do not make it. A couple of other big names that fall just short, Israel and France as well, were some fan favorites, but they do not quite qualify.
Yeah, so I opened some predictions that were made on Bridge Winners, and the story is exactly the one you said. So most of the people thought, of course, Switzerland is the heavy favorite, but second was Norway. We who didn't qualify. Then we've got USA 1, USA 2, Italy. They all made it, but then France comes, and France did not making. On the other hand, only 7 people thought Belgium would qualify, and they did. So at least we're gonna have a French-speaking team. So I'm happy about that in the quarterfinals. Although most of them are Dutch-speaking mainly, but it's gonna be very interesting. Maybe then it's not a surprise that in the quarterfinal the first team picked Belgium. What do you think?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Belgium has been struggling to maintain their position in the top eight, so finishing eighth place makes sense for Italy to choose them.
What was maybe a bit more surprising is that the team that finished second, first of all, it's maybe surprising that Denmark finished first. Can we talk about home advantage? I don't know. And then they picked USA 2. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so USA 2 has had some ups and downs, and of course, they are one of the few teams in the events with a sponsored partnership on it. Denmark did well against them in the round robin, and so they expect to continue performing well against them in the knockouts.
And the other two quarters, we've got USA 1 England, which I predict to be very close and very interesting match. I'll be cheering for England. I live in England and I've got many friends in that team, but to be fair, also in USA 1, so it's gonna be a very tight one. Any predictions? I know you're American, so maybe a bit biased.
Well, USA 1 did outperform England in the round robin, and they have a team of young, up and coming players who have performed quite well in a lot of the big team events, Spin Gold, Vanderbilt's, Solway teams at the recent NABCs. I think they're ready to take home a medal this year.
Yeah, from a external point of view, I was super surprised when they won the trials. I don't know if you were following that. They were four-handed, if I'm not mistaken. It was a long event. Can you tell us about that very briefly?
Yeah, the US team trials is a brutal event that tends to take place over the course of an entire month. Four sections picking the four teams for the world championships here. And that four-handed team, they were tired when they finished. I did commentary for the whole event, and I had Adam Kaplan from that team come on immediately after his victory, and he was exhausted. But they did manage to take home the victory.
Mhm. And finally, we've got Switzerland against Sweden. So I guess most people would really favor Switzerland. They won the last two Bermuda Bowls, if I'm not mistaken. One of the strong powerhouse of bridge at the moment. Although they did struggle, and if I'm not mistaken, this morning they were out of the top eight.
They were. They had to fight really hard to solidify their position the past three rounds, but they managed to do so. And they climbed all the way up to fourth place because it was a very contentious finish here. I do want to make a note for Sweden, though. They have one of the two female players that were playing in the Bermuda Bowl, Marion Mickelson, and they look like a powerhouse team as well. That's going to be an exciting matchup to follow.
Yep. Yeah. So let's see. And as you know, we're gonna do a daily recap every day. These quarterfinals are played over 2 days, so tomorrow evening we'll know where they stand at the halfway point. I hope most of them will be close. Uh, let's see if Belgium can fight, if Sweden can resist Switzerland, because I'm not as optimistic as you. I think when Switzerland is on a roll, it's really hard to do anything against them. And I think Denmark against USA too will be also really close. Quick question before we move on: do you think home advantage is a thing playing bridge?
I absolutely do. In the last year's World Championships, not the Bermuda Bowl, but hosted in Buenos Aires, Argentina, Argentina made a deep run in that event. And they barely missed out qualifying here for the top 8 of the Bermuda Bowl. So I think home field advantage is a real thing.
Yeah, don't tell me about it, as they beat France in the knockout stage. So I don't know if I like this explanation, but yeah, you got a point. Okay, moving on. Then we've got the Venice Cup, which is the competition for ladies. Same thing. Top 8. I would say no, not any mega surprises. From my point of view, Sweden is a very, very disappointing result. The rest, yes, Norway, England, Italy that are just behind. I was expecting them to be in a contest, and they were. So I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I wasn't able to follow this. I was following the Bermuda Bowl matches, but I mean, all of the teams played very well in this event. This is one of the only events where USA didn't qualify both teams to the knockout stage. So USA 1 performing poorly here, but USA 2 did manage to qualify.
Can I ask you one question, just to judge the strengths of the teams in the USA? And I can answer that question for France, maybe.
Sure.
Um, Women, if given the choice, would they prioritize the mixed or the women's events?
I think a lot of it might depend on what their partnership options are for some of these events. Many of the women playing in the Venice Cup are on sponsored teams. I mean, both USA 1 and USA 2 are sponsored teams. For the mixed event, I don't actually recall. I guess I could look this up quickly, but I don't think that the women's so that team has a sponsor on it, yes, and USA 1 also has a sponsor. Okay. But it probably just depends on what the sponsor wants, because I don't think the women tend to have a big preference.
Okay, okay. Anyway, if we look at the quarterfinals, let's. I don't want to spend too much time, otherwise this video will be too long. But
Sure.
let's each
Yeah.
of us give our prediction for each match. Netherlands against Australia. Netherlands was in the top 4. I forgot exactly the space, but and Australia was 8th. Let me pull that. Netherlands was first, and they picked Australia.
Yep.
So should we bet on Netherlands?
Yeah, I think Netherlands has looked quite strong here. I mean, Poland, I think one of the prototypical, very strong female bridge playing countries, because they teach a lot of bridge in school over there, and they've had a lot of strong female players over the past few years. But Netherlands outdoing them in the round robin. So those are the two teams to look out for, I think, here.
What about France?
They'll do great. You know what? Yeah, France all the way.
Yeah.
Um,
No, but what I can tell you about the French team is that it's a much younger team. We kind of changed generation in the last Europeans, and now the team basically the player that was there 5 years ago for the previous cycle, like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, who used to be the oldest of the team is now the youngest of the team is now the oldest of the team. So it's a brand new generation, very talented players. And I do think they have their chances against Turkey, but Turkey is also a very good team. If I'm not mistaken, they finished second in a World Championship, so very strong. And the last quarterfinal is China against Denmark. China, we never really know their players, but they've always been really good in female. And Denmark playing home, I saw there was one of the a builder family, the younger sister, super nice. I don't know them that well. It's gonna be interesting, but I think China, I don't know, but China they always tend to end up in the semis, so we'll see.
Yeah, they did well in the round robin. They'll probably make it.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. The senior. So I want to talk with you about the senior bowl. It looks to
Do
me
you?
that the USA is unbeatable. Like the two USA team. I, I, I mean, I don't know how much they got worse by aging, but it feels to me that both this team and this one could, on a good day, win the Bermuda Bowl.
That's what we've absolutely been saying, that a lot of these USA players, because it's such a competitive atmosphere, only two teams get to go from the US for each of these categories, that a lot of the top players from the open event end up slipping into the seniors or the mixed if they don't manage to qualify. So Zia Mahmood, Eric Rodwell, Bobby Levin, Jeff Mexstroth, Larry Cohen, and David Berkowitz have reformed their partnership. These are all of the powerhouses of American Bridge for the past 50 years, all teamed up on two teams, and they showed their performance in the round robin.
Yeah. So for me, we clearly have two favorites. The only bright news for actually France, Sweden, Austria, and Poland is that USA 1 has to play USA 2 in the final, which maybe will be the final before the final, as we say. So these four teams have a good shot of getting a silver medal. But yes, I don't see how USA is not going to win that.
It's going to be tough, especially over two full day matches. Like, even if they have one bad segment, they're going to be able to pull together for the last 7.
Yeah, yeah. And moving on to the last categories, the new-ish category, the mixed one, where again, I mean, when I look at the result of USA 1, I'm thinking, who can beat them? It's such a strong team. This team, like this Dimri, Kraniak, they were playing for USA in the previous Bermuda Bowl. Then we have Georgia. I mean, it's so strong.
It's an unbelievable powerhouse team of all of the top US talent that just barely missed qualifying for the Bermuda Bowl. Kraniak and Demoy were playing on a team in the finals for USA 1, and all they had to do was defeat Team Kaplan. I think they were ahead in that match towards the end of it, but managed to fall just short. They wound up on teams for the Wuhan Cup, and they are dominating in this field.
And if I'm not mistaken, they won in Buenos Aires.
Yes, that's correct.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we've got a clear favorite. Let's see if the other teams can change this, but again, a very clear favorite. And if we have a quick look at the quarters, good luck to Romania. Another Denmark against China. Interesting.
Yeah.
Denmark. On this one, I will bet on Denmark. Denmark has always been good in the seniors. And China, I would say not so much, but the more time goes by, the better their old players, like their previous open players, are going to become seniors, so maybe they're going to get better. Poland, to me, is a clear favorite, and Italy, USA 2 is going to be interesting. That's...
Yeah, I mean, as you say, USA 1, a clear standout favorite after that round robin performance, and the other teams are going to have interesting matches, I imagine.
I don't know what the... So I said senior and it was a mistake, sorry about that. China, I was thinking, how deep is their reservoir of good players? Can they put up a good open team, a good ladies team, and a good mixed team? I don't know.
I don't know either, but I will note that a Chinese partnership just won the most recent spin gold at the U.S. National Championships earlier this month, or last month in Philadelphia. And they weren't on the Bermuda Bowl open team, so I don't actually know if they're participating in this event.
Do you recall their names?
I don't recall their names, but...
We'll let you know tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good way to conclude. I would like to say two things before we end up, is that you can follow the Bermuda Bowl. I don't know if you already know what you're gonna broadcast, but on your channel for the next 2 days, and on the WBF channel with the two of us and maybe some special guests if we can get some of the players or eliminated players for the semis and the finals. And we'll see you every day for the recap. Maybe you can just remind the viewers about how can they follow you?
Yeah, I am at BradyBot0, both on Twitch and on YouTube. Those are my channels where I will be streaming coverage of the quarterfinals for the next 2 days. And then I'll be joining Christophe here for coverage of the semifinals and finals on the WBF stream.
Can I ask you, which quarters are you going to start with? The viewers want to know.
That's a great question. I am going to start with USA 1 England if I can.
Good choice. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a great day of streaming tomorrow, and we'll see you tomorrow for the second day recap. Thank you, guys.